not. You know, oftentimes we go through life fantasizing that we look like somebody famous, you know, thinking maybe we resemble somebody. You ever have anybody here? You think you look like anybody famous? You ever been told that?
No.
You don't? You don't look like anybody famous, sir. That's absolutely right. But, you are getting a little red in the face,
A
though,
little
right?
bit, yeah.
Okay. Is there any fantasy woman, though, that you have? Somebody you would fantasize about who you think is like the perfect woman? Someone who looks a certain way? Yeah?
Off the top of my head,
Off the top of your head is...
I don't know.
Off the top of your head is dandruff. Yes, okay. No, just kidding. Thank you for being a good sport. All right. Well, he doesn't have a fantasy woman, but all the men that are on our panel here today do have fantasy women, women that they think are perfection, feminine perfection itself. Unfortunately, these are not the women they are married to. Sam and Fran are on home base, and Sam's here to tell his wife, Fran, that her 120-pound weight gain is key fantasy blonde bombshell, Dolly Parton. Next to them is Jeff and Trisha. Jeff wants to tell his tattooed, flashy wife, Trisha, that he wants her to tone it down and be a class act like Demi Moore. Next to them is Mark and Laura. Mark wants his wife, Laura, to lose weight, be sexier, like his fantasy woman, Pamela Anderson Lee. And finally, Matthew and Jennifer, they are in love, but he also loved Cindy Crawford for as long as he can remember. He would be ecstatic if Jennifer would change her look to match Cindy Crawford's. These are our men in love with their wives, but in their fantasies, in love with other famous, beautiful women. Sam, you have known Fran for 10 years. Has she changed during those 10 years?
Has she changed?
Yes, that's the question. What?
Considerably.
Considerably.
Her personality's gone down the drain. Her looks have gone down the drain. I mean, she's gone from 97 pounds to 220-some pounds. Matter of fact, when she weighed last was 226. I mean, she outweighs me by 6 pounds.
When you first met her, how much did she weigh?
97. I could put my hands like this and go around her waist.
Around her waist.
Now
you can put your hands around her neck.
Okay, she was...
But hold on. You are married, though, right?
Yeah.
So you do love your wife.
I still love her regardless, but...
And you do realize that Dolly Parton is the creation of a plastic surgeon. Right.
There's only two features about Dolly Parton, okay? One is when Dolly Parton's dressed up, she's gorgeous. All right? Her younger years, she was a very sexy, attractive woman. You know, kind of very well...
What'd you say there were two qualities about Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
I think I know the right one and the left one. Those are the ones you're talking about, right? Well, Sam, I don't think we can bring Dolly Parton here today, but later on in this broadcast, we're going to try to make your fantasy come true with a fantasy makeover, and we're going to try our hardest to bring your wife closer to Dolly Parton's look, okay? You're going to be happy about that?
Yeah.
Don't get too excited now. We don't want you to get overheated on the show. Now, Jeff is sitting over here because you've been together for 10 years with your wife, Trisha, right?
That's right.
There she is, right under the sheet. All right. Has she changed, or is it the way that she's always been that you'd like to change?
Yeah, she changed quite a bit over the years. We go out an awful lot, and she likes to be real flashy when she dresses.
And you don't like that?
No, I don't want to be the center of attention.
So she shows herself off?
Right. She dresses to impress. She wants to be stared at. And
well, how does she dress? What does she dress like?
She has tattoos. She likes to show them all off.
How many tattoos?
6 total.
6 tattoos. Yeah. And where are these tattoos that she shows?
You got 2 on her back, 2 on her legs. You got 1 on her forearm, which you'll see. And she's got 1 on her left chest. So, and she likes to dress low cut, and you know, it gives when we go out, it gives other men a pickup line.
What do they say about that tattoo on her breast?
Well, it goes down on the left side of her chest.
Yes.
So if only 3/4 of it is showing,
so they want to read the rest of the letters.
Other quarter.
Yes.
You know, so you know, somebody asked me where my wife is when we go out. Oh, she's on the other side of the bar. You know, the woman over there with the guy looking at her chest.
Yeah. But the guy is only looking at her chest to read the letters there, you know
right,
that.
but, you know, anybody that should be looking at my wife, it should be me. It shouldn't be...
All right, well, your fantasy woman is Demi Moore, right?
Right.
Or
right.
Demi Moore, as they pronounce it correctly.
Demi's, she's sexy, and she's conservative.
She's
you know.
conservative?
Well, you know, she's beautiful, she's well-maintained, and, you know, she just holds everything well. She doesn't make everything stick out. You know, she covers up to a point, and,
is your
you know,
wife a mime? She's under there, and we can know exactly what she's feeling just by the motion of her hands. Well, she's going to have a fantasy makeover sometime during the course of this show. We have a fantasy godmother that will come out and wave her wand just like Cinderella and change her into at least a close facsimile of Demi Moore. Next to you, though, is a man who also has a fantasy, and he also has a woman that he loves in real life. You got engaged to Laura after you knew her for only 2 weeks.
That's right.
That must have been love at first sight.
It was.
What was it you loved about her? Hold on. What was it you loved about her that you would just get engaged after 2 weeks? That's amazing love story.
Well, of course, I loved her personality, but she had a body that you'd kill for. She was totally stacked, gorgeous.
That's why you
lady.
proposed after 2 weeks?
That's one of the reasons. Sure, that's important.
All right, well, hold on. You told our producers that you would like to change something about her, most specifically, and what is that?
Well, her
I can
breasts-
read it.
Oh, I can do it for you.
Yes.
Her breasts used to be a lot more pronounced than they are now.
What do you mean pronounced?
They used to stick out. And now they don't. They just kind of stick down.
Someday, Mark, that will happen to a part of your anatomy, and I hope she's as sympathetic as you are to her.
Right.
So what would you, can't you just get the Wonder Bra? Is that not a solution to this problem, no?
Well, the Wonder Bra would have to come off sometime, wouldn't it?
All right. Next to you is Matthew. Now, Matthew, you are a young man with a young wife. You are 20 years old. Your wife under the sheet there is Jennifer. She is how old?
18.
18, and you already have a complaint. How long have you been married?
2.5 years, approximately.
Boy, wow, you married her very young.
Yeah.
And you do love her.
I love her. I love her enough to finish raising her. I took
Okay,
up
but
where
she has
Mama
changed. Better not come any closer. Oh, boy, I bet you're raising the hair on the back of her neck right now. What has changed about her since you met her? From what, like 16 to 18 is we're talking about? Yes.
Everything.
Like what? She dresses
She started
different?
off, she was a fun, outgoing person, dressed. She dressed in a tempting manner.
Well, wait a second. She's 18 years old now. What does she act like now?
Olive oil. She wears,
You may call her olive oil, but when we take that sheet off, she'll probably want to pop you in the eye. Okay.
She probably will.
She used to be real sexy.
You have what is commonly known in the trade as model fever. You have this fixation with Cindy Crawford and her little beauty mark on her face, don't you, right? When you see that Revlon commercial, what does it do to you?
Oh, well, drives me nuts.
It drives you nuts. You read a magazine, you see Cindy Crawford in the magazine. You even rented Cindy Crawford's awful movie, didn't you?
Awful. She's a great actor. She's terrific.
This guy is sick,
terrific.
folks. We're going to take a break.